A museum director, a man of science, woke up one morning and started coughing up blood. No diagnosis, no cause. It started the day he touched the box. No doctor could explain it, no test came back with answers. The only thing that changed in his life was this. 3 weeks earlier, he had opened an old wooden box he bought on the internet. This is the story of the Dybbuk Box. And by the end of this video, you are going to question something very fundamental about what the human mind is capable of. Before we go any further, you need to understand what we're actually talking about. It's not ghosts or spirits, but we are talking about Dybbuk here. In Jewish folklore, centuries old, deeply documented, a Dybbuk is not simply a ghost. It is something worse than a ghost. A ghost floats around a hallway. A Dybbuk gets inside you. It is the spirit of a dead person who cannot move on, someone carrying guilt or rage or unfinished business, and instead of passing into whatever comes next, it clings to a person, to a place. In the 16th and 17th centuries across Eastern Europe, entire communities believed in them. Rabbis were brought in specifically to perform exorcisms. There are documented cases, real names, real dates, and here is the detail that always gets me. In Jewish tradition, a Dybbuk cannot be reasoned with. It cannot be ignored. The only thing that stops it is ritual. Specific, precise, ancient ritual. Otherwise, it stays. The year is 2001, Portland, Oregon. Kevin Manis, an antique dealer, walks into an estate sale. The home belonged to a 103-year-old woman named Havela, Polish, Jewish, a Holocaust survivor, the only person in her family to come out of the camps alive. In the corner of the sale, almost hidden, is a small wooden wine cabinet. Manis tries to buy it. One of the family members pulls him aside, looks him in the eye. Never open this box. He buys it anyway, because antique dealers always do. When he opens it at home, he finds objects inside that make his stomach drop. 2 coins from the 1920s, a lock of dark hair tied with cord, a lock of blonde hair, a dried rosebud, a small golden wine goblet, a stone carving of the Hebrew word shalom, meaning peace. Objects that, in Kabbalistic ritual, are used not to summon a spirit, but to imprison one. He stares at them for a long time. Then he closes the box. That night, the nightmares begin. Every single person who owned this box reported the same nightmare. Not a similar nightmare, the same one. An old woman, dark, hollow eyes, coming toward them, every night, without fail. Manis gave the box to his mother as a birthday gift. She had a stroke the same day. When she recovered, the first words she said, the only words she could manage, were, "No gift. Evil. No gift." He sold it on eBay, warning buyers it was cursed. The next owner, a college student named Iosif Nitsky, bought it to show off at parties. Within 2 months, his hair was falling out. He was in his early 20s, perfect health. No medical cause found. Nitsky sold it, put it back on eBay. The listing said, "If you buy this, may God have mercy on your soul." It was bought by Jason Haxton, director of the Museum of Osteopathic Medicine in Missouri, a scientist, a skeptic, a man who had no business believing in cursed boxes. Within weeks, hives broke out across his entire body, head-to-toe welts. Then came the blood. He was waking up coughing up blood with no medical explanation whatsoever. His wife touched a piece of clothing he'd worn near the box. She broke out in bleeding, weeping blisters. Same nightmares, same old woman, coming closer every night. In 2021, Kevin Manis went public with a confession. He said the story was fiction. He created it. He wrote it during Yom Kippur, the Jewish Day of Atonement, channeling a period of personal pain into a ghost story he posted to sell a piece of furniture on eBay. The Holocaust survivor, the warning, the Dybbuk, all invented. Here is what he actually said. In his own words, "I conceived of the Dybbuk Box, the name, the term, the idea, and wrote this creative story around it to post on eBay. The Dybbuk Box story has done exactly what I intended. It has become an interactive horror story in real time." Case closed, right? Except Jason Haxton already knew the story was likely fiction. Manus had told him on the phone years earlier, and Haxton's blood didn't stop. Here's what I want you to sit with. The box is now in Las Vegas. Zach Baggins, host of Ghost Adventures, bought it and put it in his haunted museum, behind glass, inside a sealed case. Visitors must sign a legal waiver before they're allowed to look at it. A waiver releasing the museum from liability if anything happens to you during or after your visit. Some visitors faint near the case. Others report sudden nausea, dizziness, and anxiety that doesn't lift for days. But here is the fact that keeps me up at night. He even told Haxton directly over the phone that it was fiction. Haxton's response? "Kevin, you don't have to pretend with us." He didn't believe the confession. He believed the box more than the man who created the story about it. And he's not alone. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called confirmation bias combined with nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is the scientific proof that belief in something harmful can actually cause physical harm. Real, measurable, clinical harm. Haxton's welts, his blood, his wife's blisters, none of it was faked. None of it was deliberate. But all of it may have come from inside him. Which means the most disturbing thing about the Dybbuk Box is not the box. It's the fact that we now have documented scientific evidence that the human mind, when it truly believes it is cursed, can make itself bleed. Fun fact, the box is still in Las Vegas. And that's the story of Dybbuk. Thank you for watching Horrors and Mysteries. Do subscribe to the channel for more such content ahead.